Well, not if you're Whoopi Goldberg, a.k.a. Karen Johnson. Yeah, who knew Whoopi was a Karen? I thought that was only for white people, like Toyota Priuses and skiing.
A Staten Island bakery is hitting back at Whoopi Goldberg after she alleged on The View that they refused to make her dessert for her 69th birthday over her left-wing politics.
It's hardworking, it's perseverance, and recently somebody took to the national airwaves and defamed, frankly, this family.
When Whoopi Goldberg's allegations against the Staten Island bakery surfaced, Greg Gutfeld didn't just sit back and enjoy the absurdity. He charged straight in, like a watchdog for all things cupcake related. Because let's be real, if there's one thing society desperately needs, it's someone to call out celebrities who turn pastry-related mishaps into headline-grabbing controversies.
On her to apologize, but instead, here's the update. She appears to double down in this new video.
There seems to be a lot of talk about the dessert I requested for my birthday.
Whoopi's claim started innocently enough. A Staten Island baker supposedly refused to make her birthday cake because of her political leanings. Sounds dramatic, right? Well, Greg wasn't buying it. He pointed out how Goldberg used her platform on The View to present these allegations without providing a crumb of evidence. Apparently, in Whoopi's world, you don't need proof, just a big audience and a flair for theatrics.
And the place that made these refused to make them for me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What? Oh.
To Gutfeld, this was never about the cake. Oh no! This was about celebrities flexing their influence to frame everyday annoyances as grand acts of injustice. Because why let a minor inconvenience slide when you can turn it into a symbolic battle for the ages? It's like turning a missing sprinkles situation into a global conspiracy.
But the bakery is firing back. They say that the reason they couldn't deliver Whoopi's order was due to problems with the building's boiler and not her politics. They even held a news conference with some other New York lawmakers, including Vito Fossella, to clear their good name.
Real quick, if you're loving this deep dive into frosting fiascos and woke culture chaos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Help Glam Stars shine a brighter light on these stories. Because let's face it, the world needs more sanity and fewer cupcake controversies. Now, back to the drama.
If you Google Charlotte Russe, there is only one bakery in New York that carries this particular cupcake. And they wanted to pre-order it. She called. She said, it wasn't my gender, it was my politics.
Greg highlighted how Whoopi weaponized her political identity, spinning an everyday issue into a full-blown cultural clash. By framing the bakery's supposed actions as politically motivated, she conveniently cast herself as a victim of conservative bias. Talk about taking a slice of victimhood pie. Extra whipped cream, please.
Politics. How the hell do you know that? They can prove that the oven wasn't working, but the next day it was working, so they were able to sell the cupcakes. So it was a false statement. It was made publicly, and they can sue.
Gutfeld didn't hold back, calling Goldberg's claims a deliberate attempt to twist the narrative. In doing so, she not only villainized the bakery, but also stirred up even more division in an already fractured political climate. Because apparently, if you can't have your cake, you might as well light the candles on someone else's chaos.
Ostracized for politics?
I think it was such a ridiculous thing to do. Inserting herself into a conversation about a local business and coming after a business, especially as a celebrity, can be incredibly dangerous.
Cancel culture. The phrase we've heard so much, it might as well be its own genre on Netflix. For Greg, this wasn't just a buzzword. It's a real issue, especially when celebrities use their platform to attack individuals or small businesses. Goldberg's accusations could have easily destroyed the bakery if not for the community rallying behind it. Imagine losing your livelihood over a made-up cake crisis. Sweet, huh?
Serving, very self-centered. Businesses aren't thinking about Whoopi Goldberg. They're thinking about how to make sure they get out the best pastries as you see them right in the screen in front of you. They were able to get them. So instead of focusing on something positive, she made it about herself.
Greg turned the spotlight on the resilience of small businesses. This wasn't just any bakery. It was a family-owned shop, the kind where they know your name and probably your favorite muffin. He praised the Staten Island community for standing by the bakery, showing how grassroots support can triumph over celebrity privilege. It's the kind of feel-good moment that almost makes you forget why this whole mess started. Almost.
Down that long, if you start making decisions based on your customers' politics, it seems kind of asinine to me.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And listen, I'm a customer of Halterman's Bakery, and I always tell people I'm a Democrat. I'm a normal Democrat. Halterman's never refused to serve me. They just had a broiler issue. They're a wonderful business, a wonderful family.
Then Gutfeld took a swipe at the contradictions in woke ideology. Sure, the movement preaches inclusivity and tolerance, but only if you play by their rules. If you don't, well, then you're the problem. Whoopi's actions, according to Greg, were a textbook example of these double standards, using prejudice to accuse others of being prejudiced. Irony so thick you could spread it on toast.
To Staten Island, to this community, it is respected, it's hardworking, it's perseverance, and recently, somebody took to the national airwaves and defamed, frankly, this family, this wonderful family representing a wonderful business.
Greg argued that Whoopi's rush to judgment embodied the very behavior the woke movement claims to oppose. By accusing the bakery without evidence, she ended up doing exactly what she accuses others of doing: stereotyping and prejudging. It's like serving a humble pie and then refusing to eat it yourself.
Television have to say, and frankly, the people who defamed the Halterman family should apologize to the Halterman family for making stuff up to suit their needs. Not everybody wakes up every day and thinks about politics.
Social media, of course, was the gasoline on this already blazing cake fire. Whoopi's comments on The View spread like wildfire, sparking outrage before anyone bothered to fact check. Greg called out how social media amplifies these half-baked claims, turning what should be a local misunderstanding into a national scandal. Because clearly the internet loves a good fight more than it loves context.
Hard way that going after a Staten Island institution can be a recipe for controversy. Thousands of customers lined up outside Halterman's Bakery to show their support after The View co-host accused that bakery of political discrimination.
For Gutfeld, this wasn't just a one-off incident. It symbolized a cultural shift where identity politics and cancel culture create a climate of fear and division. He painted this as the new normal, where every misstep is politicized and small businesses are left scrambling to defend themselves against public outcry over, well, nothing.
Which is controlled by The View's gravitational pull. All right, Kat, did you ever see such a group? It's amazing how Joy and Whoopi became the smart ones.
For me, the most shocking thing about the conversation was how truly boring it was.
Greg stressed the importance of accountability, not just for the accused, but for those throwing accusations around like confetti at a wedding. Goldberg's claims, he argued, should be scrutinized just as harshly as the bakery's actions. He called for a return to common sense, urging people to think before they jump to conclusions or slap a political label on every little inconvenience. Because sometimes a cupcake is just a cupcake.
Their brains are small. But who's the dumbest one of all? True, none of them are in Mensa, but who's the most densa? Perhaps it's Sonny who mastered the art of making idiots.
Gutfeld's sharp and witty breakdown of the Whoopi Goldberg bakery debacle offers a thought-provoking glimpse into the tangled web of cancel culture and identity politics. By digging deep into the details, he not only highlighted the chaos and contradictions in this story, but also exposed the unintended ripple effects these controversies have on everyday people. Small businesses, already struggling to survive, can find themselves caught in the crossfire, while the moral high ground of so-called woke ideology often turns out to be anything but stable. It's a cycle that raises questions about fairness, accountability, and the cost of public outrage. If you found this discussion insightful, entertaining, or even just thought-provoking, show your support by giving us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to stay in the loop with our latest takes on the headlines that matter, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out. And hey, while you're at it, maybe treat yourself to a cupcake. Just make sure it's free of controversy, or at least pairs well with a good debate.